Okay, Friday, 11th of April, 2025. So Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Future Friday, plan and strategize. Careful overcomplicating things. So this is something I've subtly noticed with business interactions and strategizing and planning and thinking ahead. Because there's someone I know that we often spend time strategizing how to solve this problem, this particular problem, which is irrelevant for this video, but problem X. And we have all sorts of ideas and theories and practice and experiments and research. Fair enough. So we're tackling the problem head on, in theory and in practice. Fair enough. But I thought, and I mentioned a few times, that there's a chance that in a metaphysical way, we're overcomplicating it. We're overthinking and over-strategizing and looking into things too deeply, inherently, instinctively. Just too much analyzing. Oh, what if this thing or that thing, or the way this or that, or why is it that 9 degrees rather than 10 degrees, or specific things. Why was it 5 minutes, not 4.5, or 3.25 minutes? Riddle things like that, for example. So I instinctively thought, we're overcomplicating this. Because in problem X, I see it being solved over here. It's been solved over there in a different context and place, whatever else, but it's been solved. And yet this problem X over here is still persisting, even though we are putting more mental thought and attention into it. Where over here, I'm very confident there was less mental thought given to solving problem X, and yet it was solved. On the surface, admittedly, and all things being equal, solved. We don't know the full details, and I thought there's a mismatch here. We are solving and working towards problem X, and we're putting all this time and energy into it, but the results, minimal. But over here, less time and energy, and yet the results are, head and shoulders above the results over here. So I'm thinking, maybe all of this is the problem itself, the research, the attitude towards it, and in fact, we're overcomplicating it. I then also realized and pondered that maybe I'm even overcomplicating that, not double guessing, not second guessing and doubting, but overcomplicating it, because the person I'm with trying to solve this problem, maybe they have different standards and values. I did a video about this as well, about careful imposing your expectations and standards and goals, that's to say, goals on other people. Whereas I also thought maybe the person I'm looking at this problem with, they have different expectations and goals. They want to be over there, whereas I want to be over there. And these people over here, they've solved it and they're over there as well. They're not over there, they're over there. So I thought, well, maybe that's true as well, of imposing my objectives onto this person. And yet we have the same problem over here. So I think in life, we have to be careful when tackling a problem or working towards something, that we're overcomplicating it. We're creating steps and stages that are necessary to achieve the minimal what we want. I always think, what's the simplest version? In business, this is called MVP, the minimal viable product. The simplest, smallest, absolutist thing that you can create, establish, build in order to get the ball rolling, to get something out there, to get started. If you're overcomplicating it, you're adding too many things that are unnecessary. Or you're not getting the results. Simplify. What's the first principles involved? What's the lowest common denominator? What's the most actionable thing that's possible? What principles are we overlooking and beyond? That I'm always conscious of that. Am I overcomplicating this? But also at the same time, not to think that too much where I'm double guessing and I'm doubting myself. We need a little bit of doubt and skepticism, but not too much, because that leads to paralysis, i.e. doing nothing and taking no action, which paradoxically is a result of overthinking things. Whereas if we just think less, and this kind of goes into another video that I did, I'm pretty sure yesterday, about priori and a priori knowledge. Are we approaching it too empirically, too much of the statistics and numbers? It was 3 minutes, why not 5 minutes and 42 seconds, or 9 minutes and a quarter? As opposed to instinctively, just going in for the kill, so to speak, just doing it, just getting the right amount of data necessary to solve this X problem and just going for it, as opposed to thinking too much about it. That's an important thing to be guarding against in life. Are you overcomplicating things? If you want to solve this, what's the minimal steps needed to solve it? And have to resist a temptation to overcomplicate it in general. I want to learn this or do that. Okay, what's the simplest way to achieve it? I did a video about this as well months ago about Occam's razor with regards to the most simplest solution or the simplest explanation. The simplest explanation is often right. And then you can apply the same logic. The simplest strategy, technique, method may indeed work. Again, minimal viable product to achieve just that exactly. Anything excess is law of diminishing returns. Not necessary. Not necessary. Interesting. It's an interesting thing to guard against mentally when approaching problems and tasks. Careful overthinking and overcomplicating things. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.